Okay, guys, we're 9-4. No, I'm sorry, 9-3, 9-3, 9-3. I gave us a loss. Sorry.
9-3,
9-3,
9-3,
9-3.
9-3.
I was sitting there the whole time screaming and yelling. Even when we got down to the fourth down where Baker fumbled it, Lindsay was like, "Well, they're just gonna if fourth down, then they get it there." And I'm like, "No, no. What could happen is we could fumble it. They could take it in for an end zone, score a
Huh,
touchdown, get the ball back on an onside, and beat us." I'm like, it is never over.
never.
It is never over. Even if we go up by 30 plus points, it doesn't matter. It is never quite over until they fire the gun and blow the whistle at the end, because that's just what happens as
I
Cleveland
wonder. I
Browns. Can
wonder how many.
never be easy.
Wonder how many penalties we got in the second half. Every one of them went against us. Every call went against us.
Yeah.
And luckily, we had a big enough lead, like the Cowboys game.
Yep.
It wasn't quite as bad as the Cowboys game, but it was getting close. I mean, but we played a tremendous first half. They played lousy, resulted in, we gave up too many quick scores. Even playing back, they were so soft over the middle that, and they couldn't get to him. Miles got to him one time. He was held a couple of times, even at the end there.
Yeah.
They held him when the one guy put his hand in the other guy's face mask. We got a penalty. That didn't help us. They still went down and scored. But still, concentrate on the first half, second half, not worried about it. It was a great win. Baker didn't throw an interception. The
Although
fumble.
he did have a fumble.
How do you fumble a quarterback sneak? I mean,
And that's the thing that just bothered me. Again, like, I just want 4 complete quarters of play. And
right.
I'm not giving it. I feel bad for the defense. I really do, because I think the defense played well enough to win today, without a doubt. And they just came back in the second half and went into the 2-minute offense right away, because they weren't sitting there like, we're gonna lose. They fought the whole way to the end. And then
they catch a break here or there in the second half beyond what they got, and they're right back in it like the Cowboys. I mean,
right.
It just we didn't really sit on it. I mean, we threw the ball. We got some first downs, got an interception, had one interception taken away because a guy hit him high, a defenseless receiver, another interception taken away. It just, the refs were not on our side in the second half, and we let off the gas a little bit too early, and we gave them 2 easy touchdowns. Thank God they missed the first 2-point conversion and turned that into or the extra point or whatever, and they turned it into 2 field goals. Otherwise, it could have been a lot closer.
I know. I looked at this and I was like, I was so excited after the first half, and then for them to come down and score 14 points right out of the gate in 6 minutes. Right. I was like, okay, well, it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a shootout to the very end. And guys, I am ecstatic. That we are 9-3. Ecstatic. But man, how mad I am at Baker for that fumble. What
Yeah, it looks like you got to protect the ball better than that. I mean,
it's just sloppy play. I mean, if
right.
we're going to do
even if
that,
he doesn't get the first down, at least you're going to make him take over there. You don't fumble it. If Hunt hadn't run him down, they would have scored right away.
Yeah, I mean, MVP for Kareem Hunt there. I mean, what a play for that dude. And yeah, he saw it, he recognized it, because Kareem Hunt didn't even have the angle, I don't think, to even see that the ball was fumbled. He just saw him get up and run and then trucked him down. Right. Kareem Hunt saved that game today.
Well, they would have scored anyway, but they would have had more time if they had gotten the onside kick to throw a couple of Hail Marys.
Right. And 6 points, we lose the game with a touchdown and an extra point. After scoring the most points in the first half in Browns franchise history, I was like, if we lose this game, forget it. Like, if we end up losing this game, then we just prove that our defense is not a playoff caliber defense. But I will tell you this. I will tell you this. I'm happy that we're 9-3. There's a lot of it's a very uncomfortable 9-3 feeling after the Jags game, and then after getting out that big and almost collapsing and self-destructing to lose to the Tennessee Titans. Um, so angry at Baker because again, it's like it's how good as he was magical in the first half, and then
Absolutely.
to have that one play, it's like all I want, and I say it on Twitter. If you guys follow me on Twitter, I say it every week. I just want one game with 4 complete quarters of football. If you give me that, I'll be happy. We had 2 complete quarters of football today, and then we survived for 2 more. That's what we did today.
Glad Parkey made that field goal. It gave
Yeah.
us just one little extra cushion. It wasn't a wasted drive. Sort of put the first nail in the coffin. And obviously, you got to keep the clock running. We've got a couple of nice first downs, but clearly we should have given it to one of the running backs around the end. Let the guys run around the end, misdirection, whatever. Let them pile up. Why do you go to the strength of the defense piled up right on the scrimmage line like that? People get hurt that way. I mean, it just, I don't know. I mean, it seems like a safe play, but it turned out it wasn't in a number of ways. But anyway, let's not harp on that. Let's talk about 9-3. Let's talk about the Ravens next.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was Lamar Jackson, was he cleared to play today?
I didn't see. I have to ask in chat. I haven't been focused on the Ravens
Somebody
as of
in
yet.
chat should know.
They play Tuesday, so I mean, the NFL is doing everything it can. They're doing everything it can to make it real comfortable for the Ravens, which is just really frustrating and stupid.
Yeah, I thought they were playing today, but yeah, you're right. Tuesday, so they got all day Monday to clear them, and so that shouldn't be a problem. So,
and what's the deal with
the Jets almost got off the schneid. They lost. I don't think there are any real upsets other than that so far. I mean, I think the Lions beat the Bears. Bears should have won the game, but they didn't. They couldn't close it out. Yeah, he's cleared to play on Tuesday, says Gary Washington. So, and they're playing the Cowboys. So I think even McSorley probably could.
Hey, your audio keeps clicking in and out a little bit. If you can adjust your microphone a little bit, there's something that seems to be like it's okay, but it seems like it's clicking a little bit. So maybe just adjust like where you have your position your mic, Dad. We've got up next, as you said, the Ravens. This is now very much not a must-win game. It's a very nice to win game. It's a Monday night game. Gives us a little bit of extra time to get ready, right, for them. And they're going to have a short week because they're playing on Tuesday. So they're going to have to start practicing and getting ready for us on Wednesday with no time off, right? So, and if they lose any players in the game, knock on wood, God forbid, right? But if they get any injuries in that, that's even less time that they're going to have to recover from the injury. So there's quite a bit at stake here. The other thing is with 4 games left, they said the minimum that we have to do is we have to win 10 games. We're 1 game away from that. If we win 11, it's guaranteed playoff. There's no possible way not to.
Yeah, the fact that we chalked this one up is, even though it was sloppy at the end, a lot of teams do that. But the fact that we got the Ravens next at home, they're down some players. They're not playing all that well. Let's see what kind of game they put up against the Giants.
Yeah.
If they don't play well, they got a short week then to prepare for us, relatively. And we'll be out. We'll be out for blood with them. That's for sure. We want to win that game. We don't want to lose to the Ravens and give them a backdoor into the playoffs. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't want to lose that one. I mean, here's the deal. We just went into Tennessee and beat an 8-3 team in their home and scored 28 points in the second quarter after scoring 10 in the first quarter.
Right.
and held on for dear life. It got a little bumpy, but we held on for dear life there and made it through. And I think that when we go back and we think back about this season and we do a recap of the season, it's going to be there's how many games were one score, one possession games that I so far at least it was the Bengals game we had an onside kick. The Jaguars game, we had an onside kick to seal it out. Was there another one that we had an onside kick?
Probably the Cowboys was an onside kick too.
Yeah, Cowboys might have been an on. So it's like you think about it, how many games were so close, but the massive step forward that we've taken as an organization this year it's just incredible. It's incredible what Kevin Stefanski did. I don't and I
Yes.
and I give it up to him, for holding on and playing smart and playing against the clock today,
Right.
not
Right.
not giving in as Mike Muhlenfeld was talking about earlier today, not giving in to the pressure and just continuing to run the ball. We had that one drive where Parkey got that field goal that ended up eating up like 5 minutes. That was ultimately what sealed the game,
Right.
right?
I agree. I
You
agree.
know,
We made some nice first downs. Uh, it's a game we had to win, and we won it. Life wouldn't have been over if we had lost. It would have been
oh,
pretty
it would have
miserable
been a
if we had
soul
lost.
crushing loss though.
In the end, yeah, that would have been a crushing loss. But to go up and have the best half we've had in almost franchise history,
It
uh,
was. They
it,
said it
it,
was.
I can't imagine what his rating was at that point. Baker's rating with all those touchdowns and no miscues. Uh, and then he coasted in the second half. They took the ball out of his hands for the most part. They ran it. Uh, Chubb and Hunt did okay, but Chubb had the one run where I thought he might break it. I think he's probably got around 75 yards, maybe, or 80
80
yards.
yards, 80 yards in a touchdown.
But
Yeah.
he's got a touchdown. All the receivers got in the game. They did well. Was there a drop ball? I guess the one drop ball. Uh,
Higgins had one, but it was a little bit behind him at the end
yeah.
there.
And we got three turnovers. They got one on us with a Baker fumble,
Well, the
which
one
didn't mean anything.
really dumb one too, because we would have had. I think we ended up getting an interception on that drive anyway, but it was the one where Sendejo actually got the interception, and then it got called back from a flag.
Right.
And I can't remember if it was Johnson or
It
if it was
just it
Carl
seems like
Joseph.
there's a flag on every play. It just
That's every play.
good.
It went back to old school Browns football where it was like something good happened, and we just have to go and say, hold your breath. Was there a flag?
Right.
And
Exactly.
it's not fun watching the NFL. It's not fun watching sports like that. You know,
No.
it's
No,
like
no other sport is sort of like that. Baseball, they don't have penalties in baseball. Basketball, you have them, but they're kind of obvious when somebody hacks somebody underneath or, knocks somebody over, runs into somebody. Uh, they do very little replay. Hockey, they're banging against each other every play. But football, the rest decide that they want to be tacky and they want to, guys touch each other, even though the ball's way over the guy's head or he can't catch it, whatever. Our internet feed was going out, and I missed a couple of key plays at the end when the Titans had the ball, especially that diving catch on fourth down, where it looked like he caught the ball, but as soon as he caught it, he hit the ground out of bounds. So I thought that was going to be called back, but it wasn't.
it
So
was
they
it
got
was it was
every
real.
call.
It was really close on the one where he caught it, and the ball actually did touch the ground, but they said that they said he not only established possession, but then the ball hits the ground and and it didn't move, and I thought it moved a little bit, but they're saying he established possession and held on to it, overturning their call, which was an incomplete pass. Which again, you're right. It just they got every call, and then they got the penalties. They got the whole first half was Browns,
Right.
and the
We
whole
got every
second half
we got
was
every
Titans.
we didn't get really penalty calls that it could have been questionable either way. We just got every break in terms of the first time we stopped them, but we capitalized. I mean, we made them look bad with all of Baker's throws. I mean, he was as good as
Pretty
Baker
accurate
could
today.
be in that first half, and he was sort of mediocre. But again, it wasn't on his hands. They didn't give him a full arsenal to deal with because they wanted to run the clock on several of the plays.
Right.
So other than the little hiccup at the end with the fumble, everybody goes into the prevent. Everybody hates the prevent because they're getting garbage. I wonder if did anybody have 41 for us, Mike, for a point score?
Oh, let's take a look.
And then I wonder if the garbage touchdown hurt him at the end.
George Mallory had 41.
Really?
It was 41-28. So
wow. He would have won. He would have been very close.
He would have hit it.
Touchdown.
Yeah, he would have hit it because 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Right? And the end of the game, the score at the end of the game was, I'm pretty sure that's what the score was. 41, 30. So, yeah, so that garbage touchdown, that fumble touchdown at the end cost George Mallory. George Mallory had 41-28. He would have got himself a jersey if it wasn't for that. That's pretty unfortunate.
That's a shame that he
only.
It
is what it is. We had one guy who had 41 points. George almost nailed it. So it was a good call, George. Very, very close. You will have more chances to win. No worries. We will be doing the mug giveaway on the Wednesday show. So keep in mind you'll have another chance to win a Victory Monday mug. We are going to be doing some giveaways here today as well. We're going to do Sabo apparel. You can get yourself a hat or a shirt. My dad has a Nick Chubb football card. You have that one right there, Dad?
Can you see it?
Yep, you can see it. Nick Chubb, that big touchdown that he caught over the Bengals player. His rookie year. All hands team.
It's a score. Yeah, all hands team. Nick Chubb. And then I got several other cards that'll go with it. It's a Le'Veon Bell card. A Aaron Rodgers card.
Just burn that one too.
A Odell Beckham card when he was on the Giants.
I don't know anything about modern football cards, but I know that there's a Nick Chubb one in there. So somebody's gonna at least win something that could be a nice token of our appreciation for being Brownie Postgame loyal guys.
Karma card. So I'll put them all together, and whoever is our winner, I'll mail it out. Send me the address, and I'll mail them out.
Good stuff. Good stuff. It's unbelievable being 9-3, but it's like I said, it's an uneasy 9-3 because it was like so much of that game felt it felt unbelievable at one point. I'm getting texts from everybody, and I'm like, it is unbelievable what's happening right now. But I also said, when you get a dog and you back them into a corner and they got to fight for their life, they're going to come out striking because they got nothing to lose, and they did. They came out in the second half and they were like gunning it, and we weren't putting any pressure on Tannehill, so he could just fire downfield, and he was making accurate passes. And that one interception that he threw, he hit the guy in the face.
Right.
It was just like the one that Jarvis dropped, where Baker hit him in the face.
Definitely over at that point. I thought it was just over. Yes. At that point, and they still made a game of it. Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, Baker had a fantastic game,
right?
And if it wasn't for that fumble at the end, he would have shut every one of the haters up and said, I threw 5 touchdowns against the Bengals and you guys crapped on me. I threw 4 touchdowns and no interceptions against the 8-3 Tennessee Titans and you guys crapped on me. But the fact that he fumbled the ball at the end of the game, it doesn't take away how good he played today, but it was definitely a big negative that the Baker haters are going to hold on to. And that is going to be another thing that he's going to have to think about. And you know what? I don't mind that. At this point in Baker's career, I like Baker fighting for, fighting to continue to get better and accepting the fact that he almost put his team, and that feeling, we didn't lose, but he almost put his team in a position to lose after having such a great game.
Right.
And that's at this point we're gonna take it because we're 9-3 and we'll take it however way we want. But at some point, that's unacceptable, right? And it's gonna get to that point. But right
Yeah,
now,
I don't think they'll call another quarterback sneak. I remember last year, I
yeah,
think mid-season they called a quarterback sneak at the goal line for uh, for the Kansas City quarterback.
Pat Mahomes, yeah, and he
Yeah, Pat Mahomes, and
dislocated his knee.
he hurt his knee and he was gone for several games. So you could get hurt even on a quarterback sneak, but
Sure.
you got to think, going back to the days that we used to play football, it was the safest play in the book. All you had to do is follow the center or go in between the center and the guard, whoever had the biggest push, and then go down. But they
Yeah.
ripped it. Or I think he actually fumbled it. Trying to, I don't know, reposition it. I didn't see anybody strip it out of his hands. So, no big deal. A win
survived.
is a win. By next Wednesday, everybody will forget about it. It's chalk it up. It hurts the Titans. I get a round of golf on my buddy up here in Parkland,
Oh, that's
so
nice.
I can get to rub it in. He quit texting about midway through the second quarter when I thought the greatest play that we did was after they came down and they scored really quick on us within a minute, and then Baker on the first play action, and what's his name's Jones was open by 10 yards, and he hit him right in stride, 75-yard touchdown in your face.
Unbelievable.
You got a touchdown. You did it in a minute and 40 seconds. We did it in 10 seconds. On the clock, it said they scored in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So to me, that was when I knew that this game was going to be ours. A little did I know that it was going to be as close at the end. But
same thing as a Cowboys game. It was just like we got up so much that instead of it being like two forces colliding, the whole way to the end, it was like we were soft and we just kind of let them in, and that's one of those things that I think with our defense, and I think you could tell Miles. They even took Miles out for a little bit. I think his endurance had finally caught up to him, and this is probably from being out with COVID. But they took Myles Garrett out to give him a breather, and then brought him in at the end. And he had a big sack there, and I was like, okay, here we go. And then boom, they ended up scoring a touchdown. But I mean, it was a very good game. From one side of it was great. The other side was like, man, I felt like we dodged a bullet. And I was saying, I was like, there's no way that they score 21 unanswered points in like 3 minutes.
right.
And they got 14, and with one extra onside kick. Luckily, our onside kick coverage team is pretty good, but that first one, I don't know if you noticed, that first one, it slipped loose, and then we had to jump on it.
Right.
So I mean,
I saw that. Yeah. And that could
kudos
have
to the
went
Titans.
the other way, and we would have been in a lot of trouble.
Kudos to the Titans for not giving up, because it is not over till the end, and they ran out of time. But I do think the better team won today.
You know what Baker's rating was?
No.
147.
Is that a perfect rating?
I don't know. I'm just looking at 25 for 33, 334, average 10, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, no sacks. They got him as no sacks. He did have another terrible, guy coming at him, and he throws it to nowhere land and takes but yet
why he keeps doing that?
They got a first down on that drive, which made up totally for it. But he's got to do a little bit better on that. Maybe just try to juke the guy, and maybe take the sack, but don't take the sack and the down. Or the penalty. I mean, it just So Chubb had 80 yards. Hunt only had 33 yards on 14 carries.
33 tough yards. Yeah.
Yeah. Higgins had 6 catches. Landry had 8 catches.
Good game for Landry. Peoples-Jones with the big one, and Rashard Higgins with a pretty consistent, solid game. I think the interesting stats here. Time of possession.
What'd you think of the touchdown to Lamb?
I I just thought it was funny. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean,
I think it was creative.
it was
Oh,
clear.
Xander with a donation to Tilt to 5 for St. Jude.
Yeah, good.
Whoa! Awesome.
Let's look at the other side here. Let's look at the Titans.
And guys,
Tanner Hill.
if
Tanner
you'd
Hill
like,
was 29 for 45 for 389, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. He had a rating of 104. And Henry, 15 carries for 60 yards. Now, part of that was we shut him down. Part of it was they got away from him because
they had to
catch
pass.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Hey guys, I put in the chat. Where as you can see down below, we're raising money for St. Jude. I originally had a $500 goal, and I'm like, nah, I think we can do better than that. So I bumped it up to 1,000. Then we hit the 1,000. I was like, you know what? I'm playing with the house's money. Let's bump it up to 1,500. If I don't hit it, that's fine. If we do, even better. We're at 1650 now. Thank you very much, Xander, for the donation there. Anybody who do the donation, we got the big horn go off that we got one. So appreciate that, guys. And I just put the link in chat if you'd like to donate to St. Jude and help us out. We had a $10,000 goal as a team, and we hit it. So this is all just if you have the goodness in your heart to give to St. Jude. Let's make it happen, and your name will appear at least on the bottom there for a little bit as the most recent donator. So guys, yeah, I think interestingly, Dad, the stat that I like to look at every game is that time of possession, and the fact that we had the ball for 36 minutes.
Wow,
and
but that you look at that, and that's a great stat. Then what do you think the disparity was in first downs?
It was the difference. It was even. It was 26 for us.
26, 25.
The big. Now, I think the other
first half, I think we were up like 13-2, and then they obviously lit it up in the second half as we went into the prevent.
Yeah, and the other one that was big too is the 13 penalties for 92 yards. I mean, that's a lot of penalties, guys.
13 penalties.
13 penalties for 92 yards. They had 5 for 52.
Right.
Some of theirs were bad too, and it's not only the penalty, it's when they happen. When we had our opening drive on the first half, where we started off with a 5-yard run, and Jedrick Wills was called for holding. Right. Oh, Jack McCurry with the dono! Thank you, Jack. Appreciate it.
For the children.
Yeah. And that brings a smile to my cold heart that we're getting some donations as I talk about Jedrick Wills with his penalty that ended up just killing that drive, which then resulted in them getting the ball back at midfield and them driving right down and scoring again. So that was a just a really destructive holding penalty where we had 5 yards, kept the clock rolling, and then we had to do. I mean, it was just like. Those were the frustrations I think we had. Even on the Peoples-Jones catch where we caught that touchdown, I was sitting there, is there a penalty? Is there a penalty? Is it clear? It's not fun to watch football like that. The NFL's got to take notice about some of this stuff.
Hold your breath every time.
It's not fun watching it. But you know what? We ended up surviving in the game. It felt good. And, no more complaints for me. I'm sure I'll be complaining more on the Wednesday show, but from now, I'm just going to try and enjoy it, bring my blood pressure down a little bit as we go through it. And let's go ahead and do the giveaway for Sabo Apparel, guys. So I'm going to type in here 1 to 100 now for Sabo Apparel. So everybody type in your number now for Sabo Apparel. You're going to have a hat or a shirt. Whatever you want. Most of their products are awesome. Veteran-owned small business in the Cleveland area who helps support our channel. So go ahead and type that in. Whoever gets closest to my number will win. And if there's a tie or anything, my number's in. Hands off the keyboard. So Aura asked, how about DPJ? I think DPJ did pretty good today. Although I did miss. I think he had a drop pass or something in the first drive. I missed it because I was helping my dad get the stream up. But something happened for him in the first drive, I know. And then when Higgins jumped off sides, it also kind of cost us a little bit there in terms of our mojo moving forward and to score a touchdown on that open drive. But I'll take 3 points. 3 points to get off the get some points on the board. Those 3 points became important, towards the end. So really, really good stuff. Yeah. So I mean, guys, it was a very, very exciting, fun game to watch. Pre-game show was a lot of fun too, with Mike Muhlenfeld on there, my dad's friend, my dad's golf buddy.
Right.
So it was a really, really good one. I'm still in shock to be 9-3. I think again we're fighting that 11-5 season in 1994 right now. That's the one that we're fighting to try to get above. If we got 12 wins, I think I'd lose my mind. Nobody expected that. Everybody was expecting 9-7, 10-6 would be about what we got, and now we have a chance to go with the over.
We could run it out from here, Mike. We could take care of the Ravens next week. We could take care of the Jets and the Giants,
yeah,
and a revenge, top rivalry, knock them off if they're undefeated, or take away home field advantage in the last game against the Steelers. So I'm hoping that we're still getting better. We haven't peaked yet. Couldn't have got much better than that first half, though. I mean, we played like against a playoff team. Now Muhlenfeld said when we had him on earlier in the pregame that the defense was very suspect, and
clearly.
So that gave me confidence that it may be an up and down, back and forth, who scores last type of game, and that would have been interesting. But we got so far ahead that never materialized. So we knew we were going to score points, and we just didn't know we had to play prevent for 2 quarters, second half quarters, which we were able to do. But thank God we had a big enough lead and we got that field goal. That would have been demoralizing. We missed the field goal. They get it in a good field position and they drive down and score. So everything worked out in the end. And 9-3 feels good. Coffee tomorrow morning is going to feel good. You have a lot to talk about on your Wednesday show.
Oh yeah.
And we'll be getting ready for what we got Monday night. It's not even Sunday. We got to wait till Monday, right?
Yeah, Monday night game. So we're gonna have a big Monday night pregame show. We're gonna have a big Monday night postgame show. Hopefully,
big audience, national audience. Baker's going to show off his stuff. Hopefully he plays just as well as he did against the Titans. He's got that confidence. A fumble at the end shouldn't hurt his confidence. That's for sure. Happens to the best of them. It wasn't an interception. It wasn't a pick six. He threw the ball quite well throughout the game. So I was quite pleased with everything. I wish the running game had developed a little bit more. I wish we had been able to ram it down their throats with a really long drive and eat up 8, 9, 10 minutes of the clock like we've done in the past couple of games. But it was just good enough to get by. So that was a great win, and it's going to be a good feeling all week knowing that we got the Ravens next Monday night.
100%. So my number for the giveaway was 55, and I think I saw somebody hit it. Derek Jones, the Patreon guy, is in the house and he hits it. So Derek, you are the winner of the Sabo apparel. So Derek, send me a message either on Patreon or you can send it on send it
on the nose.
Brownie Postgame. Send me what item you'd like from Sabo apparel, your address and your size, and we'll get that out to you right away. So Derek, congratulations. I will also say for Derek, he was one of the very first Patreon supporters. So that's awesome. Congratulations, Derek. That was great. Got a lot of the Patreon guys in the house, and a lot of the old school guys in chat as well. Kid Wilson's here. Ara's here. Browns fans 1977's in the house. Edward Rahr, Gary Washington, American Saxon, Coral Ross, Guts, Isaiah Cassina, Massimiani's here. Got we got great stuff going on, guys. It's gonna be tough. We got quite a few guys in here. I won't be able to shout out everybody, but I want to say thank you very much for being a part of the pre and post game show. Today was a very, very big win for us, and a little bit of I guess you could say it was a bit of a statement game, right? I think it's fair to say.
Now, are the Colts and the Titans tied now? I think the Colts won today.
They are, but it appears in the standings, at least in Google, that the Titans still have the tiebreaker.
Gotcha.
The Colts look like they're 7-4, and the Titans 8-4. Well, I gotta go somewhere. Google hasn't updated it yet. Let me check out ESPN.
Again, where we are now in the season is great, 9-3. It really puts us in the driver's seat as far as the playoffs are concerned.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we're not a Super Bowl team. We shouldn't pat ourselves on the back too much from a standpoint of, oh yeah, we can go to the Super Bowl. I don't think that's going to happen. Kansas City is just too good, and they're, and we got to beat really good teams in the playoffs. But to go to the playoffs and give all those, young players on our team the experience of, of having a great season, getting to the playoffs, having a playoff game. Maybe if our record is that good, we get the home field advantage in the playoff game. I'm not exactly sure how that works this year with the COVID and so forth. But I mean, imagine having a playoff game in January in Cleveland against a really good team, and maybe the fans can come out. Maybe they'll put more fans in the stands. I mean, have a playoff game and you can't put fans in the stadium. Tennessee had a pretty good showing there. They had nothing, obviously, to cheer about. I wonder how many people left at halftime.
Yeah.
Figuring the game was, why sit through that? I mean, that's what we have to look forward to. A playoff game this year, the experience that brings, the accolades for the coaching staff, et cetera, et cetera. Nobody injured other than Odell at this point, and he's got to work his way back, and Greedy Williams got to work his way back.
Yep.
But hopefully we don't lose any more between now and the end of the season, the end of the playoffs. And then you start, immediately after that last game that we play, we start looking forward to the draft. And we say, okay, remember, the better record we have, the further down in the draft we go. So we'll be in the 20s, certainly with that. We're not used to picking in the 20s. I don't know if we have a first round trade for 2021 that we got from somebody else that we're sitting on. But, we may have to sit through 20 picks before we get a guy that we want, unless we want to trade up. But it's a nice position to be in. We fill some of the holes at linebacker, safety, a more durable corner, maybe another defensive end type of guy. But as far as the running backs were set, the receivers, maybe we could use another one if Odell doesn't come back. We're set at quarterback. We got our reserve quarterback. So, I think next year with this type of performance, with this record, I think we are contenders next year to win the division and possibly go all the way. If Kansas City falters in any way, that's great. But they're a young team. They're great coaching, great quarterback, great receivers and running back. So and halfway decent defense. So they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So we still have to go through Kansas City just to get in the Super Bowl. And then you got to beat Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Drew Brees.
Well,
you
look at it like this. We beat our first real playoff team today. Because at the end of the day here, even though they're 8-4, they're still leading the AFC South. We beat every team in the AFC South now. But now we have to beat the NFC East coming up here. All we got to do is take care of the Giants.
We're 2-3 against winning team records. We were 1-3 going in. Now we're 2-3.
Yep.
So if we beat the Ravens next week, we'll be 3-3 against winning teams. So we are getting better. We didn't lose anybody. I didn't see anybody go down. Did you, Mike?
No, we did not lose anybody today. At least nothing that we could see. It could be like one of those Denzel situations where we hear about it after the game, but I don't think we lost anybody today. I think we got it unscathed.
Yeah, a
So
couple of nice
that's
plays
another
by
victory
guys
for
that
us.
they brought up from the practice squad that filled in on a play here, a play there. Um, just the interception,
We
couple
Dad,
of a couple of
we
other
have
plays.
we have the fourth best record in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I know.
At 9-3, you have the Steelers 11-0, Chiefs 10-1, Saints, who clinched a division or clinched a playoff berth today, are 10-2, and then you got the Cleveland Browns sitting at 9-3.
Right? How
It's
many would have predicted that?
not me, but out of
No.
out of the top, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, out of the top 12 teams in record wise, the top 12 teams, we're the only one with a negative point differential.
It looks like Greg Smith said that Wilson went out
Oh,
with a concussion.
Massimiani comes in with another dono. The donation, by the way, when you see him come in, those are all going to St. Jude. They're not coming to me.
Right.
That just bumps up the St. Jude total to 1660. Massimiani, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Massimiani's a old school OG Brownie post game guy in the chat. Sorry about that, Dad. What were you saying?
Mac Wilson went out with a concussion, evidently, according to chat.
Oh.
So
Well, that's not good. And he actually played a pretty decent game. He was a little bit quiet. He had one play where he broke up one, and then he tracked down Derrick Henry, and he was a little bit quiet after that. We can't really afford to lose these guys on defense. I mean, we don't have the best defensive personnel in the world anyway. To start, and then to lose even the guys that are the starters, it's not a good thing. But Malcolm Smith with a big play there, knocking the ball out, forcing a fumble. So there's some Malcolm Smith is pretty good. I like to see him play out there more. He's still got some gas left in the tank, as he's proven this year. So really, really cool stuff. Yeah, it's just wild. So right now we are, if I want to look at the playoff picture from a conference perspective, we're third in the conference. Unfortunately, because we're in the same division as the Steelers, we're first in the wild card at 9-3. What games are left to play? We've got I think the Steelers play on Tuesday. Is that correct? Yeah. So no.
Washington. They play Washington.
Okay, so they're playing Monday night. We got the night game today. The 8:20 game is Broncos Chiefs. Chiefs should do fine. Then you got football team versus Steelers. And then you got Bills 49ers, which won't matter really to us at all. And then Ravens Cowboys. Holy crap, if the Cowboys end up beating the Ravens,
it's possible. It's possible the Cowboys have it within them.
Gilbert now the quarterback.
Dalton has a good game, doesn't screw it up. They show up on defense. They get. I don't know. Is it a home game? Is it in Dallas, Mike? I think it is.
No, it's in Maryland. It's in Baltimore.
Too bad.
Yeah, unfortunate for them. And Baltimore's a tough place to play for whatever reason. But yeah, so
the Cowboys are motivated. They're not out of it. If they win, they're right in the thick of it for their division. So they got something to play for. They're not going to roll over and play dead. And obviously the Ravens are not going to do that either. Hopefully Washington comes to play against the Steelers, beat them, take them off the unbeaten list, and bring them back to earth.
How crazy this is. The Dallas Cowboys are 3-8, and they're one game out of first place in the NFC East.
And I'm sure they play a lot of their division games against the Eagles and the Giants and Washington. So it's, that division is well within their own hands to take over if somebody can put a winning streak together. I forget who the Eagles are playing somebody tough tonight, aren't they?
Scores. The Eagles play. I was just looking at that a second ago. The Eagles. No, the Eagles either already played or they had a bye this week. Oh, they're playing right now. They're playing the Packers right now, and they're
Yeah,
losing.
so
They're
they're
losing
they're probably going to
7-3
lose that game. So
in Green
they're
Bay.
not going to put any distance between them and the Giants or the Washington team. Washington could wind up being the best of that division just by process of default,
Yeah.
and they'll get beat the first round of the playoffs that they're in by any, even a wild card team can beat them. So they're not a threat to anybody. But
Yeah, that's a good point.
this is a building year for us. We built it. We've come from the depths to the heights at this point. You couldn't ask for any better. I mean, we could be 9-3 with different wins and losses in there.
Massimiani comes back with 15 more for St. Jude.
Right.
Thank you very much, Alex. Appreciate that, my friend. Pumping that up. Yeah, just to talk to everybody one more time about that. That is, if anybody wants to donate, I'm going to put my link again in chat for everybody. And you don't have to. Appreciate it if you do. We hit our goal, so this is all just for the kids now. But really, really impressive. And I'm gonna keep going on this because there's no like time limit on it. So I'm gonna keep going with the St. Jude thing every week. So if you guys, have more, you get paid, you get a nice paycheck or something like that, you want to donate 10, 15 bucks, awesome, appreciate it. That would be really, really great. Yeah, this has been one of those kind of magical seasons. The last time I can remember feeling this great was 2007, and it was still, we couldn't beat the Bengals at the end when we needed to. We needed that last win. We couldn't do it, and ended up keeping us out. Just like every game this season, you're not in it until you clinch it, right? So we got to keep going.
Yeah, you can be a super fan like Mike Muhlenfeld is for the Titans. He got to root for the Oilers from upstate New York. How that ever happened, I don't know. He didn't want to root for the Steelers, didn't want to root for the Browns. So he roots for the Oilers of all people. And he goes through all that turmoil with the Oilers. He remembers games that they lost like 20 years ago.
Sure.
And unlike us, where we moved to Baltimore, where they took the team and moved into Baltimore, they left the records, they left the name in Cleveland, get a new stadium, we get a new team. Well, they didn't do that in Houston.
Nikolenko with 20 points. New donut.
The records. They moved the team. They changed the name from the Oilers to the Titans, and he stuck with them. He didn't mind making that switch. There was no guarantee a team was going to come back to Houston. Houston gets the Texans, and he doesn't go with them. He stays with the Titans. So
that's big.
Fans are funny sometimes, but we were similar, but yet we weren't the same. And he wrote me in the second quarter. He says, "Well, I guess this is payback for last year." And I said, "Well, it's early yet, even though we're doing really well."
They hung in there.
I wonder if he watched it all the way up to the end, or maybe
he
did something else. He's a big Dolphins fan too, so he may have been watching that game.
I mean, I got to hand it to them. It's not over. It's never over till it's over as a Browns fan. And I think that this is the first year that there are no more moral victories. A victory is a victory. A loss is a loss. Playoff berth would be the first one. It's not the good thing is this season it's not Super Bowl or bust. I think with the Steelers and maybe even the Saints, it's Super Bowl or bust.
And Kansas City, certainly, if they don't go back, it'll be a big disappointment for them.
Yeah, but Kansas City's got a young team, young Pat Mahomes. They're going to be competitive for many, many years. I'm thinking with the Saints and with the Steelers, you got 40-plus-year-old quarterbacks that, who they could injure themselves sleeping at night. Who knows? Mm-hmm. And at some point, their wives and their kids are going to have to look at them and go, what else? You got a ring. You got a couple rings with Roethlisberger. You got one from Drew Brees. What else is there? Like as Muhlenfeld was talking to us after the game, about one of the players that he's personally friends with, who's got some concussion issues and stuff like that. It's like, at what point is your health on the line for this. And as much as I'd like to see Ben be out of the league, I'd rather him leave healthy, you know? Leave healthy, go out and enjoy the rest of your life with your family, and then have them struggle for many, many years
Yeah.
trying to find another
Did you
quarterback. That's what I
did
want
you
to see.
did you see the clip that they played towards the end that maybe they were talking about when was the last time the Browns were 9-3, and it goes back to
1994.
was it Vinny Testaverde?
Yeah,
Um,
1994 with Testaverde and those
and
guys, and they showed
and one
Leroy
of
Horde
and
jumping
the
over.
yeah, the running back is Leroy Horde going over the top for the touchdown. And my friend Mike Muhlenfeld knows him, plays golf with him down here in Florida. And if we can arrange it, we'd love to have a guest appearance by Leroy Horde if he's available, talking about the old games and the old times. Mike says he's a very, very nice guy, and if he has an in with him, he sees him. We told him we'd like to have him on the show, and
I
we'll
love
do
it.
something special if we ever get him.
Looking back at that 1994 team, we
Yeah,
were 8-3, and then we went to 9-3, and then we went to 9-4. So this Ravens game next week is going to be we'll have the chance to eclipse that 1994 team, and then it'll be when was the last time we were 10-3, because if we were 9-4 that season, so it'll stay on that level. But again, they ended up that season in 1994 11-5, right? 11 and
right.
5, made it into the playoffs, ended up beating the Patriots in the wild card, and then we lost to the Steelers in the second round. But still, we're on our own path now, right? We are on our own path. This is not the 2007 Browns. This is not the 1994 Browns. We are. It seems like this window that we've been talking about, we've been trying to build ever since the Myles Garrett draft, which really put us on this new trajectory, right? We are now
Right.
experiencing the window, and it's going to come down to what can we do in the next 3 to 4 years. I think Baker solidified himself this year that he can play, so
Right.
Baker's going to stay. Nick Chubb's going to get paid, right? Uh, Denzel Ward, I'm pretty sure they're going to want to keep around. He's got to be able to stay on the field. Miles already got paid. And then you're going to have guys like Rashard Higgins took a 1 year, $1 million deal this year. That's a
Mhm.
budget deal to stay with the Browns. Rashard Higgins took that. He's going to have to get paid a little bit. And you know what? We have the cap room. I'm sick of being the cap room Super Bowl champions. Let's go out,
Mhm.
let's pay these guys, let's solidify them, and then use the rest of it to go out and get, some better players. Rashard Higgins earned it this year. He earned it. So he should get paid. Nick Chubb should get paid,
Yeah,
right?
go out and
Baker's
get a
going to have to
couple of
get
more
paid.
offensive linemen that need to fill in. Get another defensive end that can give Miles a breather every once in a while so he can
Yeah.
keep up the pace. I mean, there's a lot of no team is ever perfect, uh, but we certainly are. We've now narrowed it down to where we had so many holes we didn't know which one to fill first and which one would last. But now we've got 75% there, maybe 80%, and it's that last 20 that if we can fill it with really young, talented people,
Mhm.
that could put us over the top. We could win the division, and we could get into the playoffs with a solid chance of getting to the Super Bowl. Especially if somebody could knock off Kansas City in a freak game or whatever, then we can have our shot. Stranger things have happened. Weaker teams, have gotten into the Super Bowl that didn't deserve to be there. A lot of them got killed, but they got to the Super Bowl. So that's our one goal that we haven't achieved. Well, two goals. We gotta win, got to get to the Super Bowl. That'll cross one check mark off, and then we gotta win one. That'll be the second, and then we will be totally satisfied at that point.
Yeah, I think with this team where we're at, um, you always kind of feel who the Super Bowl teams are every year. And last year I felt totally the Chiefs were going to do it. The Steelers this year feel like a Super Bowl team. They really do. if they can win the Super Bowl, I don't know, but they feel like it. On the NFC side, I have to look at the standings. I don't follow NFC football all that close, but the Saints are 10-2. The Seahawks are always dangerous if you got to play in Seattle.
Saints are still playing good without Breeze. They got their Hill, the backup in there. He's a quality guy who can run as well as throw the ball. He's a double threat, and he's filling in very nicely for Drew Brees. And like Roethlisberger, you can't play forever. I mean, you gotta retire at some point. So,
well, looking at the teams in the NFC, you've got the Saints, then the Seahawks. You've got Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's got plenty of tread left on the tires. Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay Packers are third in that conference. So Aaron Rodgers is getting up there. Then you got Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. He's getting up there. Then you've got Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins, Garoppolo. I don't know who the quarterback is for the Bears. I guess Trubisky technically right now. Who knows?
Right. Yeah, he's
back. There's going to be some turnover. At some point, there's going to be some turnover in terms of the old guard of the NFL guys. You got guys like Trevor Lawrence. You got
4 guys.
Justin Fields coming out. The kid from Florida. I mean, you got guys coming into the league that are going to be players. Yeah. Justin Fields is going to be a player. Trevor Lawrence is going to be a player. And it looks like right now the Jets being 0-12 are going to have the pick. Oh, Rick Adkins with the dono. Thank you, Rick. All of that is going to St. Jude. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. You got that St. Jude up to now $17.25. Appreciate that, Rick. But yeah, what I was saying, there's going to be this new generation that's coming into the league. I think Baker Mayfield's in it. I think Pat Mahomes is in it. Some of those guys. So Pittsburgh's going to have a transitional period at quarterback. I don't think Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges and all those guys they have in the team right now are going to be their long-term solution at quarterback. But it's going to be a fun NFL. And I think that as frustrated as we get at times at Baker Mayfield, and I think a lot of chat would agree with this, you know what? At the end of the day, when you take a breath and you sit back and look at it from a macro perspective, I mean, the kid is he's leading us to a 9-3 season. Right. Statistically, right now, over 2,000 yards passing. He's got 17 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Hasn't thrown an interception in God knows how long.
Right.
Ratings up to 92.
He's protecting the ball quite well. No question about that. It was everything that we wanted, except for the last maybe 15 minutes of the game where they made it closer than we would have liked. But still, a win is a win.
It looks like, honestly, we got, 4 games left here? And 4 games left. So, it's not going to take much for Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt to both get over the 100-yard or 2,000-yard mark.
If they could feast on the Jets and the Giants, that would be great. Put them in good stead to take on the Steelers at the end there. So, and having the Steelers at home, having the Ravens at home, those are things that really help, even though the fans are not in the stands, or at least not very many of them, and it's cold. But Pittsburgh is used to it. Baltimore is used to cold. The Jets and the Giants can play in the cold too. So weather's not a factor for those guys, but it's nice to know we don't have 4 tough games in front of us. We really only have 2, and 2 that we need to show up for. We'll show up for the Ravens. We'll show up for the Steelers. The other 2 in the Meadowlands, back to back. Anything could happen. The Jets almost pulled it off today. They almost won. I have to go back and look at the stats and see how Darnell played. But he must have played good enough to give him a shot to get off the schneid. But Kid
Wilson comes through with a $7 dono. Kid Wilson, thank you very much. I think that in terms of the last 4 games, you're right. I think stat padding could happen against the Giants and the Jets. I mean, who knows? It's the NFL. The 1-9 Jaguars gave us a game. They played us tough. But you got Nick Chubb, who has to average 70 yards per game over the next 4 to get to 1,000, and
Right.
Kareem Hunt's got to average 73 and a half over the next 4 games to get to 1,000. I don't know. Against the Steelers and the Ravens, those are tough defenses to rack up a lot of rushing yards, but we'll see. And but either way, we are staring the playoff. It would have to be a pretty monstrous collapse at this point to not make it. I think we'd probably have to lose all 4 games and stay at 9-7. And it's still, even at 9-7, I think there's a really pretty decent chance we'd make the playoffs at 9-7. Looking at it, would be the last team, right, that would make it, but we would still have a decent shot at it.
Right.
So yeah, guys, I don't know what else there could be said. It was a game of ups and downs. Baker played fantastic, almost blew it at the end with that fumble. Kareem Hunt chased him down. We ended up getting the onside kick recovered. That saved it. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. This is the thing I like about Kevin Stefanski. He's looking at the win conditions going, it doesn't matter if we win by 1 point or win by 30 points. The game is a game. Let's do what we have to do to get to that win condition. And
Right.
he showed he's playing against the clock, but Baker and team, Hooper had a great catch that kept that one drive alive that might have sealed the game with that
was
one
a great
catch.
Yeah.
So this is where we're at, guys. We're a 9-3 team. I never thought I'd say that. We're going to be drinking out of our Victory Monday mugs, right? All right,
Absolutely.
so we got 76 guys left in here. Let's do the Nick Chubb card giveaway.
Okay. I don't have a trivia question. I don't have one at hand, so I'll defer to the number choice, Mike, if you want to do that again.
All right, so I just typed it in chat, 1 to 100 for the Nick Chubb card. Go ahead and type your number in now, and we'll calculate that. Good chance to talk about some of the sponsors. We've got Sabo Apparel, who we gave one out. We gave us a homage t-shirt out earlier today. So we're going to be giving out more stuff. We got the card that the Nick Chubb card that we're going to send out. And Sabo Apparel and Homage help us out quite a bit. We also have William Ali Realty. So if you happen to be buying or selling homes in the Northeast Ohio area, give William Ali a call. His phone number is right there. And then Schlegel Law as well. So if you happen to have any legal needs in the greater Columbus, Ohio area, Schlegel Law Firm, give him a call and he'll help you out. So, yeah, and then we got the Wednesday show coming up with me and Mike Ristano on Wednesday at 7 p.m. We're going to be live once again talking about the 9-3 Cleveland Browns, which is always a good time. It was Mike's I want to say he was like 47th birthday or something like that. Last Wednesday, we ended up going just about an hour. This next one, I could see us going 3 hours on that one. It's actually more of like a podcast type episode because we talk about the Browns and we talk about all that kind of stuff, but we also talk about a whole bunch of other stuff. So join us, everybody. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, and also hit the like button. If you're sitting there typing in a number, hit that like button as well. Help us out with the YouTube algorithm, and we'll kind of go from there. All right, so we still got some more numbers that are trickling in, so I'm going to give it a little bit more time. I've got my number that's ready to go. I'm happy as heck, Tim. Best time to be a Browns fan. Sup, kid? Woof.
In a long time, that's for sure. That's for sure.
It is a rare year, right? It only took a pandemic for the Browns to become 9-3, but hey, we're here. We've got some cool stuff coming up in the future here in the Brownie Postgame channel. You also will notice that up here in this corner, you've got the InClan GG, which is my gaming brand as well. So if you're into Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and all that kind of stuff, InClan GG is your Mike Killy destination for Call of Duty, Modern Warfare highlights and live streaming over there on Twitch. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and type in my number. It's been long enough. The number was 78. Guts had a 72.
74.
Nikolenko at an 81. Might go to 74. No, I think Nikolenko might got it because he's got. Um, I'm looking back here. 74 with not with, so that's 4 off, and 81 would be 3 off. So I believe Nikolenko
Nikolenko,
wins.
he's a
Max is the
winner.
win. Max
All right.
winner. And here's the Max even so the whole St. Jude thing, and Max is a Patreon guy as well, so he's an old school Brownie post game chat guy. Really appreciate this dude. But he was actually the first one to donate to get that whole $1,732.55 going. Max Nikolenko was the first one. I will always remember that. So I really appreciate that, Max. And then to double down and do 20 more today was just fantastic. Thank you so much. Happy to do that. So we'll send out the card to you, Max. Congratulations. I believe I have your address, but just in case, Max, if you wouldn't mind sending me, just to pop it up to the top of my email box, your address, say, hey, I won the card, boom, and we'll go from there. So, all right, guys, we've been at it for an hour and a half here. I think I'm going to hop over to Quincy, dial into his show.
Yep.
He
I'm
asked
going
me
to
to
go
come
watch
on.
the other games and see if my pick'em week holds up and can get to Monday night, and we'll go from there. But great having everybody in the chat. Great was with the pregame with Mike, and we'll hopefully get some more guests pregame, postgame as we go along.
Yep.
And the thought of the day is victory mug, winner Monday victory club. So
9-3.
I'm going to enjoy it.
I'm going to enjoy it as well. Thank you guys. Go Browns. And we'll see you Wednesday for me and Mike Rosano for as always, the
Go Brownies.
Wednesday show. Go Browns, guys.